South Africa is in the midst of a kidnapping crisis.
How safe are we in South Africa?
Kidnappings appear to be continuing unabated. It seems to be a trend.
More than 1,000 are reported each month.
We are killing you now.
Videos like these are now common, and fear is spreading.
These kidnappers knows your every move. By the time of execution, there is no mistake.
Criminals are becoming ever more confident.
The suspect is seen storming into the restaurant and grabbing the child.
And many believe the situation is out of control.
A state of emergency regarding crime, is that a conversation we should be having at this point?
Johannesburg, the capital of Gauteng province. More kidnappings happen in this region than the rest of South Africa put together. Violent crime has long plagued this nation, but the number of kidnappings has doubled in the last year. Now, it's not just the rich being targeted, but middle and low-income people too. And the business model is so successful, it's attracting criminal gangs from abroad. Faced with growing criticism, the police are keen to make their presence felt on the streets. So today we are with the South African police. They are setting up a roadblock, and one of the key things they're looking for is firearms, which is obviously used by criminals to kidnap people.
We're very serious against crime. No excuse. There's no excuse. Let's all work together.
Kidnappers often use stolen vehicles, and officers are on the lookout for anything suspicious.
Cooperate, please.
I'm asking you for the last time. You bought this car from who?
Metal.
Operations like this are carried out regularly, but seem to do little to tackle the problem.
It seems as if this syndicate appears to be much more stronger than our police force. They have now come to a point where they are comfortable. They know that they will not be caught.
Maggie Skosana, the leader of a local council outside Johannesburg, was kidnapped along with her driver last October by men posing as police outside the gates of her office.
Immediately when we drove off here, I was already suspicious that this was not police. So yeah, we had an altercation for some time until one of their guys decided to move out of their car with a rifle into our car, and then we were then instructed to drive off.
Police in Mpumalanga are investigating the kidnapping of Nkangala municipal manager Maggie Skosana.
With her case making headlines and the police powerless to act, Maggie's family had to look elsewhere for help.
As die polisman nie die werk kan doen nie, identifiseer die korrekte polisman.
Mike Bolhuis runs a private detective agency. I spoke to him in his fortified compound near Pretoria.
I always refer to myself and the investigators as positive, paranoid psychopaths, the good psychopaths.
As kidnappings have soared, so too has the number of people coming to him for help.
I will not hesitate 1 second if somebody is trying to kill you, to take that person out. I believe that every person has a worth, and I will protect that person no matter what it takes.
With business booming, Mike now employs around 100 specialist investigators. In Maggie's case, his job was to stay in contact with the kidnappers and handle ransom negotiations.
They knew of our investigations. They knew that we know what was going on. They knew everything that we knew, and we knew everything they knew. But there's nothing we could do because they've got something in their possession which they can harm, which they will.
We thank South Africans that they've prayed for us.
After a week, Mike was able to negotiate Maggie's release, but the precise details of ransom payments aren't usually made public. Survivors rarely speak out because of death threats, but Maggie wanted to highlight the devastating impact kidnappers have on their victims.
It has affected me so badly. I I sort of panic easily. More than that as well, I am so paranoid now. I don't easily trust, you know. If my kids, I don't find them on the phone, I panic.
Maggie's case was just one of dozens which Mike deals with each month. He says the gangs are becoming more professional and more dangerous.
They'll show you videos where they have killed people before. They'll show you videos of everything that they have of you. They'll show you all your information. By the time of execution, there is no mistake.
So what's the solution?
The solution is to deal with crime in its totality by the government. There is no relationship between the government and the police and the public. It's like an engine. If you take one screw out of the engine is going to stop at some point.
The South African police have set up a kidnapping task force and say they are closing in on several criminal syndicates. But with criminal gangs thriving and the government failing to find an answer, many South Africans are losing faith in those who are supposed to protect them.